So, what's the best place to live in Bali? Well, I've lived in Seminyak. I've lived down south of the airport in Jimbaran, which is the Bukit region or the mountain region. It's kind of like a bulbous area like this, just underneath the airport. And I've also lived in Ubud. So, those are three places that I've lived. And I've also stayed in Kuta, which is basically ground zero. When you get off the plane, if you want to stay in a hotel and you don't even want to take a taxi, you can walk out of the airport and just there are so many guest houses within walking distance. And that's actually, if you arrive late, that's a good choice. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't stay in Kuta; it's the worst part of Bali." Well, actually, there are advantages. Like you're in a very central location. If you want to meet up with people, they're more likely to be willing to come and meet you because it's so central. And also, there are the only really, really, really competitive supermarkets in Bali are in Kuta in that central area. If you go to Ubud, if you go down south, you've got the smaller brand supermarkets. They're still pretty good, but they are more expensive. They do have imported things which you might like to eat. I like to eat things like apple cider vinegar and kefir, and you can get that stuff in many different parts of Bali, for example. Anywhere where there are lots of foreigners, basically. Yeah, and the supermarket to look for in Ubud or down south is Pepito, and the one in the central area of Kuta is Carrefour. Anyway, I just remembered this cartoon I saw, and it was like the evolution of Bali. I'll try and find it for you. And there's four people, and it starts with the guy with the beer belly in Kuta, and that's really unfair on Kuta because there's a lot of fun, and it's for all kinds of people. And then slowly evolving into the yogi who lives in Ubud, and I think that's really funny because there's all kinds of people in Ubud. You don't have to be into yoga. You don't have to be some kind of enlightened spiritual person. There are people who love to listen to rap music who live in Ubud, you know. But it is a very green place, and that's what I love about Ubud. Uh, so for me, Ubud is the best. For you, it might be something different. It might be Canggu. That's the other place I forgot to mention that I've also lived. And do you prefer a busy life, a busy social life? Do you want to go out in the evenings? Do you want to have plenty of choices where to eat? You don't mind paying a bit more for rent or living in a slightly smaller place? Canggu is the place to be. You've also got the beach, not the most clean beach, but there is a huge beach all along Canggu. So if you want to watch the sunset and stuff like that, it's nice. Seminyak as well. You've got the beach. Um, there are a couple different points you can drive to around the Seminyak area. One is one like I remember the place I lived near Double Six Beach, so I used to go there. Double Six Beach is loud and it's busy, and that's cool if that's what you want. But it was really nice when I found the other beach, a few kilometers away. And I say the other beach is actually all one long thing, but of course, there's just another road, and because of the density of the development around the coastal area, you have to plan where you're going. Yeah. Okay. So I mentioned if you want to live in Canggu, what about Seminyak? I don't really know in 2021 who Seminyak is really for. I guess it's quite developed, but there's not like it doesn't have the appeal of. I guess the location is pretty good. It's within reach of the nightlife of Canggu. It has some nightlife of its own. It has restaurants. It has places you could get a massage, convenience stores. Obviously, these days it's not 2019 anymore. Bali is so much quieter. A lot of stores are closed. Like that's one of the things when you drive around Bali, you see stores that are out of business. Sadly, and so then Yeah, when I lived in Seminyak, I shared this huge, great big villa, and it had four sort of independent buildings. Each was a room, and then had a central sort of living dining area. And I was the only non-Russian speaker there. There were people from different Russian-speaking countries, Ukraine and others I forget. And one guy came back one day after I just moved there for about 2 weeks, and he'd come to get his bag because he'd already left. And I said, "Where are you? Where did you move to?" And he said, "Ubud." And I thought, "Oh, okay, interesting. I wonder why he's going there." And here I am now in Ubud. I think it's the place to go. The reasons are: number one, like I said, the space. Number two, the price. You just get more. Simple as that. And number three, the fresh air, which is occasionally tainted by burning of stuff. That seems to be something you might just have to get used to. Ironically, the more near you are to roads, busy roads, the less burning there seems to be. Although, anyway, those are my thoughts on Bali. Ubud is the best place for me. Maybe for you too. Okay, bye bye.